Welcome back to 6th grade math. Today we are talking about the coordinate plane, and this is part 1. Our goals for this video are to name the ordered pair for a point on a coordinate grid and graph a point on the coordinate grid. Before we get started, let's remember how to plot integers on a number line. So go ahead and point to where -8 would go, -4, 0, and 9. Hopefully you remember that -8 would be to the left. Your negative numbers for your horizontal number line are always going to be to the left. So here's -5, -6, -7, -8. -4 would be 4 to the left of 0, right here. 0 is right in the middle. That wasn't a very good middle. Better. And 9 would be 9 to the right, almost to 10. Okay, and if you were doing a vertical number line, okay, and you had to graph these, everything above 0 is positive and everything below 0 is negative. Here are two number lines. So just like I was talking about for horizontal number lines, going to the right is positive, going to the left is negative. For vertical number lines, above is positive and below is negative. So a coordinate plane is when you take those two number lines and they intersect, okay? So here you can see we have a horizontal and a vertical, and we cross them together. So where they intersect is called the origin. That is 0, 0. One of the number lines is horizontal, like I said before. That we label X, okay? So you have positive X values, negative X values. And your vertical number line, we label that as Y. Y above 0 are your positive Y values, and below 0 are your negative Y values. So we have positive up here, negative down here, positive X is to the right of 0, negative X is to the left of 0. These two number lines intersect and they form the coordinate plane that looks just like this. The point where they intersect, like I said a second ago, is called the origin. Okay, you can see that right here. So we have within a coordinate plane quadrants. Quad means 4. So your quadrants are your 4 regions. The quadrants are noted by Roman numerals is what you're normally going to see. So quadrant 1 is all of your positive values. So for example, if we had to graph 3 positive, 3, positive 2, that means I'm going to the right 3 and I'm going up 2, and I would put my point there. So it's where those two numbers cross each other. Okay, that's quadrant 1. Those are all positive. Notice that our quadrants are going in a counterclockwise direction. Okay, you can see it makes a C. You can think of C for coordinate plane. Quadrant 2 is next, and it's here. So it's when you have a negative X value, but still a positive Y. So say we had -2, positive 1. We would go left 2, up to 1, and you would put your point. Okay. Quadrant 3, if we keep coming around on here, quadrant 3 are our double negatives. So let's say we had -5 and -2. That means I would go left to -5 and then down to -2, and I would put my point. And then quadrant 4 is our last quadrant that we get to when we're going counterclockwise. And quadrant 4 is positive numbers to the positive X values. So let's say we have positive 1 and negative Y values. So let's say +1, -2. That means I would go right 1, down to -2, and I would put my point. Okay? When points are plotted on the coordinate plane, they are identified as an ordered pair. Okay, the ordered pair is made up of an x coordinate, the first number, and the y coordinate, which is the second number. So I'm going to write this a little bit bigger. 3, 2 is the ordered pair that they are graphing here. Your x value comes first. That is your 3. Your y value comes second. That is the 2. And you can remember that x always comes first because x is first in the alphabet before y. Okay? So again, your first value tells you to go left or right, depending on if it's positive or negative. For this one, we went right 3. The second number tells us to go up 2 because it's positive 2. Okay, can you tell me the coordinates of where point B is? Remember that the first number is your x, the second number is your y, and positive and negative determines left or right, up or down. This is in quadrant 3. Remember that quadrant 3 is double negative, a negative x and a negative y. So if I were to start at the origin, to get to B, I would have to go left 2, which means, I'm going to write this a little bit bigger, that my first number should be -2. Once I go left 2, I go down 1, 2, 3, 4. So it is located at -2, -4. Okay, this is a big one. Can you see if you can pause the video and give it a try? I want you to graph all of these coordinates and label them with the appropriate letter. And you could even pause the video and just point to where you think it's going to be. So A is 2, 3. That means from the origin, +2, right 2, and +3, up 3. This is where A should be. Okay. B, -2, 3. Remember, the first number is your x, the second number is your y. So left and right, and then up and down. So from the origin, -2, left 2, +3, I'm going up 3. Okay. For C, 2, -3, you're always either going right or left first. So I'm going right 2, but the second number is -3. So I'm going down 3. Okay. Then D is -2, -3. So left 2, down 3. We haven't talked about 0 yet. For E, 0, -2. Because my first number is 0, I don't go left or right. I stay right here at the origin. The next number says -2, so I go down 2, and your answer, your dot is going to be right there on the y-axis. Okay? And then F, -2, 0, that means I go left 2, but I don't go up or down because the second number says 0. So that means you don't go either. So your last coordinate F is on the x-axis at -2. Okay, before you leave, make sure you can name the ordered pair for a point on the coordinate grid. That was practice problem 1. And then practice problem 2, graph a point on the coordinate grid. Thanks for watching.